Hello, friends. Mrs. Short again. As you know, I like to read a lot of different stories, but I also especially love to read stories of people that I've taught with and that I know and that are self published authors like myself. I have read a few books by my good friend Patti Bonesteel. She writes animal adventure tales. She has quite a few of them, and this is one of her newest ones. It's called Barkley and Leave It to the Beavers, and it talks all about how beavers build their homes. What she does is she researches facts about beavers and all the other animals books that she writes about, but then she puts it in a story that's fun and cute for you to learn about. So you're learning as you're enjoying the story. So I'm going to get started so you can hear all about it. Standing on the dam, Barkley smiled at his young beavers. Sorry about the pages, boys and girls. This is a new book. Just got it yesterday. The pond is here because you helped build this dam. Now the water is deep enough to build our lodge. The young beavers smiled, proud of their hard work. Leave it to the beavers, the dad winked. We do good work. This made all the young beavers laugh. But it's not all work and no play, so go have fun tonight. But, Barkley reminded them, get a good day's sleep. I need you back here at sunset. Slapping their tails happily on the water, they chased each other over and under the pond. Excuse me. Excuse me, boys and girls. Barkley smiled, watching his kids play. He loved the fall season, looking up at the beautifully yellow and orange colors of the aspen, birch, and willow trees. He thought, these trees will make a strong home and give my family food for the winter. Looking back at the pond, Barkley noticed a moose and her calf walking to the edge of the water. They've been doing a lot of work, don't they? The mom smiled at Barkley. Leave it to the beavers. Confused, the calf asked, what do you mean? The pond is here because the beavers built that dam. How did the dam help? Well, the dam stopped the water from flowing into the stream. It made this a deep pond. Now the beaver family will have a safe place to live this winter. No, smiled Mom. They won't live in that dam. They'll build a lodge in this pond. That will be their home. And the deep water will protect them. Wow, they're going to be very busy beavers. Yes, they are, said Mom. Those busy beavers are helping us too. How? Well, the trees they take down help new plants to grow, ones that we like to eat. This pond will give us water to drink and more plants to eat and a place to cool off in the summer. You're right, then the calf added. Leave it to the beavers. Very smart animals, aren't they? I even learned a lot reading this book. The sun was setting when the beaver family gathered at the dam. Pointing to the middle of the pond, Barkley said, that's our building spot, and we need to be busy beavers, so can you and Mom and I count on your help? The beavers all nodded eagerly. Smiling, Barkley pointed to his bright orange teeth. While I cut down some trees, you yearlings can gather sticks and rocks for our lodge. Mom, will you take the kits? Smiling at her kits, Mom said, our job is digging 2 tunnels. Looking a little disappointed, the kits asked, well, why can't we help carry sticks? You can do that later, but we need the tunnels. Why? They will help us carry the sticks and rocks out to the middle of the pond. So it's an important job, a very important job. And when ice covers the pond this winter, we will still have a way to get in and out of our lodge. So, can you be busy beavers? So smart. They think of everything to stay safe and have a home through all the seasons. Working through the night, Dad was busy cutting down trees and dragging them into the pond. Mom and the kits were busy digging the tunnels under the water, and the yearlings were busy gathering sticks and rocks. They were very busy beavers and very tired beavers. After a good day's sleep, the beaver family went back to work placing logs, sticks, and grass into a pile. The lodge got bigger every day. Every night they worked hard, and every day they slept well. Finally, it was time to fill the holes. Using their hands, they squished the mud between the logs and smacked it down with their big flat tails. Dad stood proudly on the lodge and said, "Because we all work together, our home is sturdy and ready to live in." Barkley led his family up to a dry and cozy room where the floor was covered with soft splinters of wood. "This is where our family will eat and sleep. And the hole in the roof will let fresh air in and our stale breathing air out." "Like your snoring air," added Mom. Everyone laughed. "Yeah, that too," said Dad. Outside the lodge, the muskrats admired the beaver's home. Looking at his family, Dad said, "Leave it to the beavers," then added, "This will be our winter home." "How?" questioned Mom. Swimming away, he said, "Leave it to me and the beavers." Swimming back to his family, Dad said, "We're moving in." "It was that easy?" questioned Mom. "Barkley said our extra body heat will be nice." "And that's it?" questioned Mom. "Barkley said we can help guard the lodge from predators." "And that's it?" questioned Mom. "We can share plants with them." "And that's it?" questioned Mom. "That's it. And the beavers don't eat animals, so the crayfish, snails, and frogs are ours." So now you know what they eat. Sounds like a good deal for the beaver and the muskrat families. Then Mom added, "Leave it to the beavers." Winter came, but both families stayed cozy and warm. Even with all the snow and ice, they had plenty of food, and they were safe. With the frozen mud and water closing the openings of the lodge, not even a fox or coyote could get in. They'd have to find their dinner somewhere else. After the long winter, the melting ice and warmer weather brought more life to the pond. The frogs were the first to come out of their underwater homes to lay their eggs. "Leave it to the beavers," the frog said to his mate. "The edge of this pond will be perfect for laying your eggs. The water will keep the eggs from drying out, and the plants will hide them. And after a few weeks, they'll have small plants to eat. Insects, too." Smiling, she added, "Guess what she said? You're right. Leave it to the beavers." Springtime was coming, and the beavers knew life would be changing. They knew Mom would soon have her babies. The kits would become yearlings, and the yearlings would leave home and have their own families. The muskrats also knew that life would be changing, just like the beavers. The young muskrats would leave home and have their own families. Mom and Dad would move out of the beaver lodge and build a home of their own near the pond. Finally, spring did come to the beaver pond. Ah, spring, Dad said to his family. Love seeing green. The air is warmer, sighed Mom, and the spring rain is helping the plants and flowers to grow. Picking up some mud in her hands, the kit cried happily. The mud is soft and squishy now. Then, throwing it at her brother, she cheered, Gotcha. Laughing, he picked up some mud and shouted back, Let the games begin. Mom and Dad laughed. Leave it to the Beavers. Hearing a thumping sound overhead, one of the yearlings pointed toward the sky. Look, Dad. Looks like two cranes have found our pond. As the cranes flew closer to the male chirped, Leave it to the beavers. Flying next to him, the female chirped, Look at this beautiful pond. The pair of cranes flew closer to check out the beaver lodge. Looking at each other, they smiled. This will be the perfect spot for our nest. The top of this lodge will keep us and our babies safe from coyotes and foxes, and we also have a pond full of fish and insects to eat. Smiling, they waved their wings at the beavers and chirped, Leave it to the beavers. The beaver family smiled, waving back to the cranes. Looks like we have more guests, said Mom. The days were getting longer and the sun was warmer, and spring turned into summer and brought even more guests to the beaver pond. Moose, deer, raccoons, foxes, and coyotes came to make homes. Fish, birds, ducks, dragonflies, and butterflies came to make their homes, and they all had one thing to say. Say it with me. Leave it to the beavers. And Patti Bonesteel talks about some of the fun facts that she's learned. So you can read about it. She talks about um, where she got her facts, where she researched them. She has a beautiful dedication to this story, but I won't read all of that. I just want you to know that if you want to learn about all of the animals, or if you want to learn about animals and in a fun way, check her out. Her books are on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and you can read about animal adventure tales. She's an excellent author and a really great friend. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. See you next time. Bye.